What is up, guys? It's Angelo Pedroza, founder of Estate Squared Away, and we are here again for another agent office hour. We're going to be doing this every single day. We were doing it at midnight before, but now we're doing it at 8 p.m. every single day, okay? We want to try and get as many people to follow us, as many people to come and join us on this journey, because just real quick, Estate Squared Away is an organization built to change the world. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to go to these communities of low economics and use government-assisted programs to come and change their outcome, right? We don't want to do with that so-called gentrification. We want to go in there and help those people with Section 8 and other programs like such. Or we are going to go and figure out alternative means. We're going to fix the cities. We're going to fix the towns, and it's going to be tremendous. So ultimately, guys, join us on this journey. It's going to be great. Join the Discord. A lot of people, I would definitely recommend get into the more exclusive groups. And if you want to know how to get it, just write a comment, and I will drop the link after the video. But now getting to it. You guys seen the title. You guys seen that it said, where are you going? You know, and this is such a good question because, like, you know, lately I've been getting pumped up, man, because everybody is in this movement in our community and they are hitting it hard, man. You got people that are coming to Gary, Indiana, are buying up properties, trying to fix it, trying to put families in it. And yes, they're making their money, but they're also changing the outcome for a family. And that means so much. You know, when you look at yourself, right? What do you want to be? I mean, and the reason I ask that is because, like, looking at myself, I know that I created an organization like this because I wanted to see how far I can push myself and how far I could go. And, you know, it's such an understatement of what you think you can go to, right? You know, in the beginning, I thought I was going to get into real estate to make money. And now it's not even about money. You know, it definitely pisses off my parents sometimes because it's like, no, it's not about the money. You know, it's about the concept of being able to go out there and change perspectives, whether you're a landlord, tenant, or just a community member. You know, it's the fact that you can go to somewhere and have impacts that are a footprint. You know, I mean, there are tons of towns right now that are completely destroyed. I mean, Gary, Indiana has over 20% of their population abandoned. It's unbelievable. And it's sad because you drive by and you see these parks and schools that are torn up. And why is that? It's because of the resources. You know, if you guys have seen my past videos, you guys know this is like this, and all these different places are just based off of the lack of resources, the lack of not knowing, generational knowledge, the poverty paradigm. There's so much to it that has put you in a position where you have no escape route, you know, and that's where people become barbaric. That's where people go back to just trying to survive, you know. And on the last video we did, it was about the tenant, what is it called? Crazy reactions, right? And there was such crazy perspectives and things going on, and people yelling and screaming and just mayhem going on. But the funniest thing is, right, when they do these things, they don't necessarily think what they're doing is wrong. And from our perspective, it's like, well, how could you? You know, we have laws, we have reasons why people go to jail and why they, you know, stay out of trouble. But in these perspectives, when people have to go to barbaric levels, a chaos, right? A sphere of chaos becomes around them, and they normalize to it. And that's all you know, right? So if it doesn't go that way, you feel out of place, you feel uncomfortable. I should be always fighting to keep the lights on. I should be always fighting to, you know, stay in the apartment or house that I got. I should be. And it becomes, you know, normalized. And it's sad because what if you could come to someone and you can really get through to them and show them, hey, these are alternative ways. You might not save everyone, but guess what? There might be that one person that ends up changing it for that entire family, you know? And, you know, that brings me to another thing, right? So they always say, right, and I love this concept, there's always that one person, whether it's in a family, a town, a community, that decided to change course and become something, or decided to see how far they can push themselves. They didn't just want to be you know, the best real estate investor. They didn't just want to be the best teacher, right? They wanted to go and see, how far can I push this envelope? How far can I get? and they're reaching astronomical levels. There are people that wake up today, right now, that are actually planning to go to Mars. I mean, can you think of a life like that? Can you think of, I woke up, I'm headed to the facility so we can figure out how to go to Mars? You say that anywhere else besides that scenario, and it sounds crazy. It's, people giggle and laugh. Those guys are dead serious. I'm dead serious. What I want to do is I want to try and change the world, because if I can change the world, I think that would fulfill my own goals, my own self, and people have their own goals in their own selves because of their self-reflection and things that they've been through, things have just been pumping me up lately, because my people, right, they're getting under contract, they're pushing their boundaries. I just I got a couple of my people to agree to do a video with me, and they otherwise would not do a video, and they know it's pushing that envelope, it's taking yourself to the next level and putting yourself out there. And that's the scariest thing, because you look at scenarios where people can be wrong, and you can say something that you don't really know. They say experts get sued, right? You see people always putting out, oh, I'm a guru, I'm this, I'm that. And they also say it's dangerous to be those people because they get sued. But guess what? Even though those people are saying those crazy things and calling themselves gurus, they are crazy enough to go and put themselves out there. I'll tell you what, I will 110% be delusional and seek my goals and eventually achieve it, or at least get a little bit closer every day, than to subscribe to this conformed life, right? Like here in Northwest Indiana, everything's based on steel, everything's based on metal, and the creation, right? This is mainly why Gary's the way it is, because back in the 70s there was over 200,000 people that lived in the town. Now there's probably less than 60,000 people. I mean, at one point that place was booming. Now it's destroyed. Why? Because of the steel mills, because of the loss of jobs. But ultimately, this area is built to create steel mill workers. To create, if you're a man in this area, 99% chance you're going to the steel mill for sure. Hey, and nothing to the people that are working in the steel mill. Hey, that is a respectable job. But the way that I want to live is that I want to put myself out there and win big. Because at the end of the day, I heard this quote the other day and I loved it. We all are in the movie theater of life, right? We're all watching the movie. We're all waking up every single day and watching the next flick go by, and eventually the movie ends. But you get to choose where your seat is, and you get to choose how you live. Now, if you got a choice, where are you going to sit in that theater of life, right? Are you going to sit in the back where there was an available seat and nobody's going to bother you, and you can, just watch it in the shade, from far away? Or are you going to present yourself in the front row with all the popcorn, all the drinks, your best friends, and having the time of your life while you get to enjoy this movie? Why would you subscribe to anything less than the best that you absolutely have? That's what my whole pitch is, and that's everything about myself. I would love to eventually get to a point where I can help people get to the next levels of their lives and see it accomplished. I mean, I have one of my biggest goals in life is I want to know that I have put somebody in a position where they are making tons of money. The day that I know that I help somebody from a start position of being completely broke to now I can look at them and they're making $400,000 a year or more, that's when I'll know I've made it. I mean, I got a long road. I'm not successful, nowhere near by any means compared to the people that, are out there, but I am a lot further than I've ever been. And I love it. And I risk every day. I risk people being upset with me. I risk the pressure, just like I'm sure some of you guys are when you're pushing those boundaries. And ultimately, it is worth it, because you get to lay down and you get to be prideful. You get to have that feeling of, I know this sucks. I know that I've put myself in this position and it's scary, but now it is going to be worth it. And you feel it every day. Even if you haven't achieved it yet, you feel it every day, getting a little bit closer. I was telling one of my good friends, very big investor for Villa Homes. He's like, him and his partner are tremendously good at investing. I mean, they got a massive operation going. I'm so proud of them. And I was telling him, I'm like, do you ever take a couple steps back and like look at everything and just be like, this is a lot of shit. I'm not gonna lie. You're doing you have over 150 homes that you're managing. You have I think they're doing like 18 flips a month. And I know they're from Lake Station. I'm almost 100% positive they're from Lake Station. I know that when they started out, they were just some kids that liked real estate. They were just some guys that 18 years old in a construction zone saying, I'm going to take over the world. And look at them. I believe that. I mean, call me delusional because it's going to happen. I want to take over the world. I want people to come with me on this journey and do it too. I want to look over and see that you have not only been able to seek out what you want, but you've become the best at it. I got a daughter, a brand new daughter that she's five months old, and I can't wait to see her grow up. I mean, I am so excited. I think that the one thing that I hope I can put into her is I don't care what job that you decide to do. You are going to be doing a disservice if you don't try and do the very best and become the best. I don't care if it's a janitor. I want you to get an award after an award after an award because you have went and you have refined your skills and became something. I think that is so powerful because it's scary. Ultimately it is terrifying because why would you step out of something of comfort? Go and enjoy life as it is now. Go and enjoy your your house and your day-to-day, walking your dog and stuff like that. Why would you want to do more and risk yourself? But it is so worth it because you know that it's out there. And with social media now showing you the ability of what's out there, I mean, before that, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't be in the same type of mentality, but before that, how could you know what was out there? Now that you know it, how could you not want to experience it? I mean, are you going to live your life, go through all these steps, and then go through all of life and not have seen Egypt or not have seen somewhere in the world? I'm not. That's my goal. But ultimately, I can't tell you how proud I am of my team, man. Everybody in the State Squared community. I'm looking around. We got I think 3-4 contracts right now off of the people that came to last week's dinner. And they are doing killer. I mean, one guy, my friend Mike, killing it, man. We found him an off-market deal. We got it at an amazing price. The other side of this half duplex was for sale. And then we decided, hey, they got it at they got it at a really high number, to be honest with you. I mean, let's try something, and we spit out an offer just to see what happened. They came back, a lot lower than we expected. And then we ended up making the deal. Looking a few steps back, we just made that ability. We just made that possibility right there. How amazing is that? Because otherwise somebody looks at this, they're like, oh, this is $90,000 for a half duplex. Hell no. You know what I mean? Not in this area or not in this space. Right. And that's perfectly okay. Everybody has their deals and stuff like that. And I don't blame you. I would do the same thing. I think that was an amazing, amazing experience. I think that my other people that have gotten under contract, some of them have had a difficulty, taking and pulling the trigger to go and do something like this. It's scary. I mean, you're talking about real money, not, a few 30, 40 bucks that you lose, that's gas money, you're talking 50, 60, 100 grand. That's serious, serious money. And to be able to go out there and risk it and be like, okay, I'm in, put me in. That deserves respect. I think that if you have aspirations to go and do something, you should have that mentality. You should want to try and put everything in and see what happens. Because the people that don't put in, they end up thinking about it the rest of their lives, and I don't want to live like that. I want to live where and this is another great quote, and it was like, and it's kind of religious. Okay. I'm gonna go I'm not trying to get religious, but this was the quote, right? And it was said, it was like, Jesus died on the cross, right? But then he said, I am done, right before he went on. He passed. And the guy in the video, he was saying, I want to know that feeling. I want to put everything I have into this life, because when I'm laying on my deathbed about to go, and I'm looking at my family, I'm looking at everyone around me, I'm going to be laying there and saying, I'm done. I'm like getting torn up watching or, thinking about it. Like, it's powerful, man. Because what if you lived a life like that? What if you went your entire life, you're 90 years old, and now you're living like that? I think that that's the way that I'm going to do it. And, I think that the people that are seen as crazy, it's so funny. Like, Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, all these guys, they were seen as delusional. I think, be delusional. That's my opinion. I'm nothing massive. I'm not this tremendous person. I'm not this super uber successful person. Not yet. Join me on the journey. You guys are going to see it. I'm here every single day, morning to night. I'll show you my setup here. It's the same setup. I sit here day to night because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I want you guys to join me on the journey, because you guys have the ability to go and seek better for not just you, but you owe it to all of the people that have been in your life, to all of your history of family that had to survive through depression and through all of these things that were difficult, So, I can't wait. I can't wait. And shout out to Senya. I really do. I'm proud of you, girl. I can't wait. She finally agreed to do this video, and I'm so excited. Shout out. And hey, Davis, man. Hey, good to see you, man. But, hey, good story about Senya. We're going to have a video coming up where she managed to snag a property for $61,000, man. And it is turnkey. This thing is looking nice. And it's already has Section 8 tenants. It's already renting. She's making money. She's doing her thing. And she's on to bigger and better things. So, hey, shout out to both of you guys. You guys are awesome. But, that being said, guys, I can't wait. I can't wait to see. I want to host these events. I want you guys to come out here, and not just Gary, Indiana. I want to go and fly around the country with you guys and be able to go to these low economic communities and see 1,000 t-shirts and jackets sporting our logo, cleaning up the community, setting up parks, seeing a before and after of a flip of a city, before seeing a swing hanging to afterwards seeing kids all over the playground, So, yeah, honestly, everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. Gary is going to be the start for sure. Gary, I think, needs help, and everybody's pushing for it. Everybody in the community, outside of the community. But eventually, I'd like to go global. Why not? What about all of the places in the world that need help? Be like the Avengers, but it's going to be good. I don't know, guys, man, you guys are awesome, man. I got a few people on my investors list that they are constantly thinking of the stars and the moon. And I like to surround myself with people like that. I think that you guys should always be shooting for the stars and the moon. That's the honest truth. Because if you didn't shoot for the stars and the moon, how could you go anywhere? How could you even get off the ground? So it's yeah. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining, man. Thanks for joining. I'm telling you guys, we are going to create something great, and it starts by just looking introspectively. I want you guys to know, hey, last time you guys came out, I was like 270, right? So I made it an oath to myself. This is my little vow, right? Next time we have something, I'm gonna be at 200 pounds. So hey, I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I've been dieting, I've been getting after it. So you guys, look at yourselves and be like, am I the best version of yourself? Because that's when you can really enjoy life. When you are healthy, when you are sharp, when you feel like not just, internally and mentally, but externally healthy. That's where it really matters, guys, So, thanks, guys. So, I'm excited because this is what runs through my head every day of every moment. this is what I'm about. You know what I mean? Is that I really truly believe that, I really truly believe that we can all be successful. And it's funny because somebody asked me the other day, they were like, how come when you talked about people, you never say anything bad, but when you say something not just good, but like beyond good. They're like, every time you talk about someone, it's like, it's not just like you're like, hey, they're doing good. You're saying this person's doing this person's doing that, this person is killing it. They got this dream, they got that dream. It's because that fires me up, man. When I know that I am working hard every day, morning to night, and I look over and I see someone working just as hard, that's when I take myself to the next level mentally. That's what I'm like, let's do this. This is my people. These are my people, So I'm excited, guys. A quick story, most of you guys know me because of Millennial Mike. And a year ago, almost today on the 17th, it would be actually a year ago, we closed our first deal. We'd been working a little bit with each other, went through a few houses, offered on a few places, but our first deal closed last year. And the thing that I think that became a friendship between me and him is that we were on similar paths. I think he had he had already built up his YouTube. He's working hard every single day, going out to these events. He's got a kid. He's got a job with the police. He's, and shout out to him. We just talked and he said he got a promotion. So make sure you guys shout out to him, but he, what was it? He's going for the next goal. And then I meet him and then he brings out Dion and I get to meet Dion and Dion's on the same path, Dion, well, of course, Dion promotes his style of, being able to maximize, off of what his style is, right? I don't exactly know. I think it's 16 units he has, and he gets crazy cash flow from it. He keeps improving and refining that. Dion's been on Bigger Pockets. Dion's been on tons of podcasts. If I'm not mistaken, he was on Real Estate Rookie the other day, not too long ago. That's insane, But so I meet these guys and it's like I can't help but get fired up because it's like I'm seeing guys that were in the same position, if not worse positions than me, and they were like, all right, I am going to put this plan right in front of me, and I am going to do it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to half-ass it. Every single day is going to be dedicated to me getting to that point. I mean, and I'm seeing them at their statuses, I'm seeing them, be able to, Senya, intermittent fasting. Yeah. I'm doing like a chicken, rice and veggie thing, like just the plain old, like steroid type, workout, but not on steroids. I'm just saying, like those guys that are big, bulky bodybuilders, but, intermittent fasting is definitely what I need to start doing. Like the I think it's morning or something that you don't eat from like 9 p.m. Anyways, but that's what I'm talking about, guys. I mean, I get around these people and I can't help but feel that way. I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's Dion or Mike who have grown an exponential following, right? I mean, you guys that came out to that dinner, I can't help it but get so fired up because I'm like, this guy's from Iowa. He drove here 5 hours to be here because he has hopes of getting somewhere. This lady flew from across the country in hopes to not just meet us, but be able to go and do something. And that makes me feel incredible because I'm seeing these people come from all over the country to come to this location to try and pursue something. And I'm on the pursuit of pursuing something. And it aligns. It aligns because it's not just about real estate. I'm not just a broker at this point. You know what I mean? Like it's not just that. It's the philanthropy of being able to change the community. These people are in such dire need of help, and not just specific to this community, but people all around the world are in such dire need of help. And you have the opportunity to not only be able to help them, but also make money from them. So why wouldn't you? We need to stick together. We need to grow this. We need to become something. And, for you guys that are part of the Squared Away community, we're going to start, I want to try and start doing a consistent, like schedule of, probably like some type of educational thing once a month, like a little seminar or webinar. And maybe, I can bring people in, Mike can bring people in. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I just can't wait to develop. I can't wait to see you guys do more. And it's compounding, right? Because think about the people that we are right now. Right now, I started this brokerage, February 6th is when I started it. I've been doing real estate for 4 years now. And 4 years, June 20th. And right now, you guys have, the units you have, the knowledge you have on real estate. Imagine what's going to happen in 5 years. In 5 years, I'm going to look over my shoulder and I'm going to see you 10 times better in the position that you are. If you got 1, 2, 5, 10 units, maybe we can get you to 100. Maybe we can get you to 200, whatever your goals are. Maybe we can get you to that financial freedom where you can spend more time with your family, where you don't have to worry about anything. And that happened because you're part of this group. And when you met us, we were starting. I mean, how is that not motivating? I can't wait. I can't wait because every day I wake up, I'm seeing people grow, and yeah, 5 years, man, let's take over Gary. You know what I mean? Like, let's make it such a better place because, there's the thing about Gary is that it's just incredible. I mean, incredible the position that they're in, because it's like, I remember working for an investor that was extremely, extremely wealthy. I mean, he did very, very well. I want to say he had 2,000 units that he owned 30% of. And I mean, some of these guys, they move very silently. And, it's a smart move because you hide from lawsuits and everything like that. And this guy, I worked for his brokerage, and I kind of forced myself into his friend group in Chicago, and I would go to the cigar lounge because I knew he was there, and I would already show up with beer and hey, he'd be pissed off. He's like, damn. But, I got to meet this guy and meet his friends and just understand a little bit more about the levels of wealth, business, people. It's funny, a little funny story, right? I remember I went out there to Chicago and I went to this cigar lounge and, surprised Ryan. I had the beer in my hand. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I had the beer in my hand. I was like, hey, and he was like, damn, this kid, and, we go in there. He lets me in because, mind you, the Monte Cristo is in Chicago and it's like $250 a month to even have a seat in the lounge area. So, yeah, pass on that for right now, but, yeah, so, he took me down there. I'm meeting all these guys. And, I remember I'm sitting down there in the basement and there's these guys coming up, and there's this one guy that's he's in his 30s, he's a really young guy, got his hat backwards, having a good time, came down, sat next to Ryan, they're spitballing. And I'm like, oh, this guy's got to be something because, he's coming down here and the confidence level was just vibrating. He's just loving life, And I talk to him and I'm like, hey, what's your name, man? How you doing? And he told me his name. I forgot. And he's like, yeah, I was like, so what do you do? He's like, yeah, I'm a part owner in a business. I'm the COO of Blue Chew. And I was like, Blue Chew? What is that? Come to find out, that's I'll let you guys Google it. It's hilarious. But this guy was extremely wealthy. I mean, probably all of 100 million, you know what I mean? But, I mean, you got people in his company sponsoring that are TikTok stars and Drake, and shit like that. So it was incredible to meet, this guy that had gotten to a level, even though he was in whatever he was in. But, it's so cool to meet these different people that have just, it's reached different points. I mean, Ryan, this guy that I knew, shout out to him. He's a great guy. I remember what was it? We were at that Monte Cristo or maybe the office one day, and I'm talking with him, and he's like, what's crazy is that you look at these politicians and you first think, oh, this person has this policy and this and that. And I'm not going to get political, but I'm just saying everybody has their opinions and their different perspectives and stuff. But then you have the people with real wealth, the billionaires that come in and they're like, hey, you 5 guys that are, all, this one party, I'm going to pay for every single one of your campaigns. You're going to push these policies. And then I remember sitting there like, oh my God, like, that's how it works. He's like, that's how it works. And I'm like, like, it makes you realize, like, damn, like, so there are ghosts out there behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, you hear all these conspiracies of the men in the black suits, or things like that. But like, it's so funny because it's like, money is, it's not about money. It's about power, and it's about respect, and it's about access. And that is what wealth can bring or protect you from as you build it. I think that I'd like to subscribe to the idea, and it's so funny because I got it really big on my chest, that there are sheep and there are wolves, right? And obviously the sheep, like everyone says, are the people that subscribe to conformity and pursuing life in a very general manner. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that because, hey, some people like that. But then there's the wolves. There's the people that have decided to push the boundary and become something. And not all the time is it a good thing. Some wolves are bad. There's also some wolves that are good. I'd like to subscribe to the idea that I want to be a good wolf, or I think in this one story that like he even added a sheepdog or something like that. But I want to be the person that's just as powerful, but can be the equalizer, like Luke Skywalker before he was Darth Vader, like the good side. He was supposed to be the great equalizer, but it's so crazy to learn the different ways of the world, and as you're longer in your industry or whatever you're pursuing, you learn that, oh, this functions like this for a reason. The governments are set up like this for a reason. I learned when I was in the military, I always wondered, okay, why is it that the cities and the municipalities almost get mad when like the state gets involved in the municipality? I thought like the state was the one that controlled them. You know what I mean? And really, that's not necessarily 100% true. The cities try to become their own, they try to police their own, they try to push their own policies, and they try to keep the general state not necessarily out of the picture, but like for the most part to where they don't necessarily need them. They're a self-functioning asset, right? And the reason I bring up the military is because when I was in the military and I went overseas to Africa, we were training the military there, the Moroccan soldiers. And it's so funny because cultures are completely different. And when I was over there, to be in the military is like being in McDonald's, I shouldn't hate against McDonald's, but we all know the stereotype, right? Like you're working at McDonald's, it's not necessarily the world's career job there. But for them, they were looking at us like we were crazy, it was so funny because this guy, he was told in, their Moroccan language, I forgot what it is, but I don't know if it's Arabic. I don't think it's Arabic, some type of dialect, but he was told, he was like, hey, so this kid's going to train you. And he got mad. He's like, this kid, and it's so funny because I was 17 years old and this guy was 56 years old, and it was funny because my job, I was an assaultman, and assaultman is specializing in rocket deployment and demolitions. So, just like in like toy soldiers, the guy that had like the rocket, that was my job. It was pretty cool. I got to shoot plenty of rockets, and that was my go-to. I was specialized in that. That's what my attachment was to the infantry. I was that guy. That was my mission. And essentially, for this guy in this specific scenario, I remember it like it just happened, right? I'm sitting there, and my job is to teach him how to make a bomb, right? And this bomb was specific so that they can protect their own community, because 30 miles out of where we were stationed at was a active fire zone. It was they call it a red zone, and essentially, if they couldn't take care of themselves, we would have to activate and go down there and fight. And I'll never forget, I'm out there, and it's so mean too. Now that I look back at it, it was kind of mean, but I had to teach him how to do what's called clamping this blasting cap thing, and that's what sets off the big kaboom. It's like this little firecracker type thing. If you think of like a metal cap on a pen, like that's kind of what it is, but it's also like a firecracker inside. And I remember I was standing there teaching him, okay, you got to put it on. You got to, essentially take the clamp strips, take it, 1/8 down, 1/8 from the start of the metal, and then clamp it. And how you would clamp it, you'd hold it above your head and clamp it in case you like blew off your hands. It's not the best idea, but that's really how we did it. You're not supposed to look at it because your helmet's supposed to protect your head, and you're clamping it, and hopefully, it doesn't blow off your fingers. And it's funny because it's a running joke that we would do where we would pass it over to the person, and they would obviously start shitting their pants, and I passed it over this guy, and he grabbed it and he started immediately shaking. Like, I mean, this 56-year-old guy, I felt bad for him now, but like in the moment, I'm 17 and I'm like, I did this 1,000 times. And I also was terrified when I first did it. And he's like, shaking his hands, holding it above him, and then clamps it. And he's like, okay. And he's like, and it said it in his language. And I guess he meant do it again. Can I do it again to practice? And then he did it, and he's doing it confidently. And he ends up being very good at it. And the reason I bring up that story is because it's so funny how that's just like us, right? How you go to do something, and yes, it's extremely dangerous. It's not a joke. If you mess that up, you're hurting, if you mess up your finances, if you make a wrong investment, if you do something a little outside of the comfort zone, you are making a big risk, but if you do it, you have the ability to protect not just yourself, but others, and also be able to make yourself comfortable. And that's what I'd seen out of that situation is now that this man has the tools to be able to defend himself, it's not just him that he's defending, it's defending his community and his family. And you think I think of money, and I think of business, and I think of relationships and networking, and that is exactly what we're doing here. We are providing each other with the tools to be able to take each other to the next level, to be able to protect not just ourselves, but our community and our family. I mean, that's what it's all about. I think that when everything's said and done, I want to be that proud. I want to look at myself and be like, I became the best at what I do, whatever it is, whatever variation of exactly what I do. I want to make sure that I can pursue to the absolute top. You know what I mean? Not everybody has to want to achieve to the top, but for me, I mean, I have dreams. I've been having dreams. I have pictures of me at 15, 16 years old, hustling watches. I used to have a watch business. And I remember I was like, I want to be a billionaire because the billionaires are the people that run this world. The billionaires are the people that like rules do not apply. Obviously, they abide by a certain standard, and there's a very specific type of way that they are. But I want to see what life is like that, And it's funny because I've had the ability to meet one billionaire in my life. Shout out to Barry Ruby. This guy is tremendous. He owns Bodie Capital over in Colorado. And he just started a mentorship program. So if you guys want to learn development, definitely check it out. It's ground up development. And his course is specific to taking architects and turning them into developers. Very cool. Definitely check it out. It's kind of expensive, right? I should say a lot, very expensive. Because when he started it, it was funny. He was using me as like a guinea pig. I used to hang out with this guy all the time, virtually. And he's like, hey, test out this program, see if you can learn it. It was like a Excel spreadsheet, and I'm going through it and I'm like, holy shit, what is going on here? And 1,000 numbers and all kinds of different variations. I didn't even know what DSCR loans were, so I just seen letters and all kinds of shit, And I remember telling him like, hey, these are the difficulties I'm having. This is what I'm going through. And he's like, okay. He's like, I'm not going to start from the beginning. I'm going to start with architects, and then we're going to turn them into developers. And I'm like, okay, yeah, thank you too, man. And So, but he did let me get those tools for practice. So I do appreciate you, man. I really do. And he's given me tremendous mentorship. He's a great guy. But yeah, definitely check it out if you have time. Ground Up Development Mentor. That's his thing over in Colorado. But ultimately, there are a ton of tremendous people, but not a single person has reached a extreme standard without making themselves a tremendous person. You know what I mean? They say that as a millionaire, you don't actually have $1 million, right? Maybe you do. Maybe you have it liquid, but that's not the point. The point is, to become a millionaire, you have to first become a millionaire internally. You have to walk, talk, act, choose your decisions, choose your enhance yourself in all of your weak areas, constantly provide yourself to that point where now you are worth that to the world. Because what is a millionaire? A person that has created $1 million worth of wealth by the services and products and things that they have given to the world. And so what is a billionaire? When we think billionaire, we think Facebook. I mean, think about what would life be like without social media? I mean, they're the main people that I would say kicked off most of this thing. What would life be like without Amazon? When you take yourself to an extreme level like that, you are a different person. And the one thing I learned about what it seems like most billionaires do, Barry from videos, obviously I've never met him, but Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and all those other billionaires, they choose everything very carefully and very methodically. It's almost like they pace their conversation and they control the conversational tone. Like they'll almost keep you from going certain directions because they're controlling it. And that's power. I mean, I want to be able to get to a point where my decisions are, I'm 100% confident. Nobody's necessarily 100% confident in themselves, right? But like you can get damn close. You can, go out and make decisions and risk, and you're going to feel unconfident. But as you keep doing it, that overall fear of risk starts to lower. And I feel like, for myself, like I've been doing it pretty consistently. I try not to make stupid risks, but the consistency of stepping out of my comfort zone. I found out the other day, right? The main reason, the main reason I haven't personally invested, right, got my own rental units, isn't necessarily because I just don't want to yet. And I might have said that at the dinner, just being embarrassed by it, truth be told. But the honest truth is that I chose to become a broker and do this full time. And brokers get paid commission. And it's an extremely hard life to be able to successfully learn how to live on commission, because every single day is a hunt. Every single day, every single moment, you are fending for yourself, trying to make it work. And, there's been times that have really, really sucked, man. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I can't claim that I came from the ghetto. You know what I mean? I can't claim that I didn't grow up the way I did. I'm very blessed. I had both my parents, and they worked very hard. My mom, she used to be a radio tech, and my dad was in the mill, so very grateful for the upbringing I had. But I chose to go and pursue a life that was dangerous in the fact of commission work. Because I knew that there was people out here like this that were also like me, wanting to become the best versions of themselves. And I understood that when you take the concept of guarantee and you choose to trade it for something that is worthwhile, that risk ends up feeling a little bit better on yourself, and essentially what I'm saying is like, I love everything that I've done so far. I think that going out and creating deals for people and seeing the reactions. I used to love doing it for families, and then I realized I love doing it for investors, man, because nothing is like getting a great deal for an investor and seeing them light up because now they're making more money and they look at you because you're the reason why, being a broker it's taken me a while to get good at, and I still haven't reached the hope that I want to be. Every day I'm training myself. Every day it's a workout. It's a CrossFit workout. And eventually I hope to, be at the top of what I do, maybe not just being a broker, but just all encompassing. But, yeah, I mean, first year I was an agent. I think I made 10 grand and I was working security overnight. So I worked at a hospital doing security right after COVID. And, during the night, I'd stay and do security all night. And then I'd come in the morning and I'd start working as a real estate agent. And I'd go and start doing calls and start getting after it. And I made 10 grand, right? And then the year after that, I was like, I want to do better, right? So I did 24 grand. This is the point where I was like, okay, I am getting close. And I know that the only way I can fully focus on this goal and this dream is for me to be able to just be all in, And so I went all in. Halfway through the year, I was like, screw this security job. I hate, I went through a police route before real estate, but I didn't really want to be that. I knew I wanted to be in this. I knew I wanted to be around these type of people. And so I said, screw it. And I just went full in real estate. And I was like, whatever happens, happens. And man, was it premature? Probably. Yeah. Was it the smartest idea? I mean, I wouldn't recommend it for everyone. It sucked. But did it make me pretty good, pretty fast? I think it did. I think I was able to speed up to the levels that some good agents are. And, I mean, dude, there was times where you'd make, 15 grand in a month, and then 4 months, you're surviving on air, you're, hoping that, hey, just hold off for me, like NIPSCO, hold off for me, Waterville, and, now we're getting better. Now we're comfortable. Now we're at least surviving to the point where now we can look at becoming great. Now we're not just surviving. And I'm proud of that, because you're creating, whenever you go into these investment routes, right? This is technically an investment on myself, but you guys that are going into buying properties and trying to pursue these things, it's going to be fearful. And eventually you'll get to a point where you're like, am I all in or am I not? And that might be the point where you quit everything and you're like, this is what I do from now on. This is how I make money. And, when that point comes, that's going to be terrifying too, definitely be in the position, right? I'm not going to say anybody to do it prematurely. I think I did it prematurely, but I'm very happy with the amount of learning I got. That leads me to a really good quote, actually. And I said this at the Karma Lounge event. This quote is the rule of 100, right? It says, if you spend 18 minutes doing one discipline every single day, at the end of a year, you'll spend 109 hours working on that discipline. And then you think about that and you're like, dang. So what does that mean when I do 8 hours worth of work on not real estate, on something else, on not myself, on not my health? What's happening at the end of the year? What's happening after 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? What's happening on the life that you've lived already? That's when I was like, okay, I'm all in, rain or shine, sleet or snow, let's do this thing, and I'm pretty happy. I think that it has led me to amazing people, and I could not ask for a better outcome. I think now we are putting on our armor of investments, and we are about to go to war on trying to change this Gary, Indiana. And I'm really excited, man. I really am. I'm excited because, Gary, Indiana, if any of you guys in the government or anybody in the atmosphere, I want you to know that we are coming, man. We really are. You guys will know the Squared Away community. I'll tell you that, because everybody is coming. Everybody's going to change that place, and we're going to do it full force, man. The next event that we're going to have, hopefully, will be sometime around Groundhog's Day, around Labor Day. So keep your eyes peeled. We're definitely going to try to. I can't wait. If you guys have any recommendations on what we should talk about, things I should do, let me know. If you guys have trouble hearing me or anything like that, this is a very new concept that I'm doing, and I'm trying to get better every single day. So let me know, guys. I'm also working on that rubric I mentioned, so on Discord, what I'd like to do is once a month, we'll go over a topic that's going to make you guys just that much better. I'll have on lenders that'll teach you, ways to work better with your loans, or, find deals even better within your own finances, right? I'll bring on tax professionals or tax preparers to show you how to maneuver. You know what I mean? Bring on lawyers to show you how to properly set up your business. I'll go through the different, updates on what's going on with Gary, Indiana. So I'm excited. We're going to iron this out. We're going to get better, and I can't wait, guys. It is 50 minutes, and I think that was a good video. So thank you guys for joining. If there's anything that you guys ever need, give me a contact. And one thing I'll definitely say is I will never not be real with you guys. I will tell you my honest truth. I will always be upfront and honest with you guys. If there's ever anything that you guys need, I'm here for you. I'm here for my State Squared Away community, man. All right, guys. Hey, take care. If there's anything else you need, let me know. All right.